Hi everyone, this is Silvio Guadagnino coming to you with the part 2 of my training video on the 10steprevolution.com. Now, like I was saying, please come and see me at my blog www.10steprevolution.com, just like the title, and come get more information. There's an introductory video there, and basically this series, this 3-part series of training is basically based on the fact that I gave an introductory video on my site on www.10steprevolution.com, and I wanted to give an in-depth training video. So this is part 2 of 3 of that training. And so what I was basically getting at in the last video, at the end of part 1, which is leading into this part, is the problem is and what you stand to lose. Now, when I say the problem is and what you stand to lose, is that no one, not your parents, not your teachers growing up, not your professors in university, not your mentors, nor the government, nor society ever want you to learn about revolution or how to create a revolution. Now, the question, the importance, and it almost makes sense to them, is why would they want you to learn about how to create revolution? Think about it. Did you ever have a class in university that basically taught you how to create revolution, or basically how to create trouble? Because in actuality, revolution is creating trouble. The difference with revolution and just plain trouble is that revolution is actually after a goal. You have something in mind, something good that will better society, that will better your district, better your county, the area where you live, the people that you belong to, the groups that you belong to. So revolution and trouble are not the same thing, but regardless of that fact, you have never had a course, not in university, not at school. Revolution is something that I find is learned in the back alleys. You learn it in the sense that it interests you and you need to know how to do it, but you don't know where to start. So basically, what I wanted to do was basically give you a course. Now, it sounds strange, but in a way, the 10-step revolution is basically a 10-step recipe. I call it a 10-step revolution, but it's a 10-step recipe. Even better, what it really is a cheat sheet. The 10-step revolution, I don't know if you've ever realized this, but you know when you're in class in university or college, maybe even high school, and they allowed you a crib sheet? The crib sheet, you would throw everything on that thing. I mean, you would throw everything. It was only one side, or maybe even 2 sides of one sheet, but you threw all the information you could on that sheet. That crib sheet had everything. So what I want to do is I wanted to create a short book, and this short book is your crib sheet. It's how to create a revolution, how to go about it, and the process you have to follow. And it's extremely important because I feel that if you have the right game plan, your odds of winning and of actually creating true change, something that you wanted, go through the roof. And so that's what this book is about. It's basically your cheat sheet. Get it because it's something you need to create change. And that change, like I said, could be anything from social, obviously, to political, to environmental, to a life change, to a career change, or to fighting for the survival of what already exists. So this is the type of cheat sheet you need. And that's what I want to get to. Now, in order to explain to someone a cheat sheet, I figure just like any time in university, any time in college, any time in high school, any time in your job, whatever it is you're doing, or whatever change you want to do, you need an example. An example brings to life what theory could not. So my next point, and the points that I wanted to explain to you, was giving you an example, and basically enough with the theory. Now, my example could be based on anything, but what I based it on is on this presidential election. I did it because, first of all, the presidential election is right around the corner, but I think most people understand that and realize its application anywhere. So let's get to it. What I want to do is I want you to paint a picture. I want you to look at get away from everything, turn off the TV, turn off the internet, except for this, of course, and look at a blank wall, any wall. I want you to picture this. You are a revolutionary. You believe in change, and you're not scared of the word revolutionary anymore, right? Because it doesn't freak you out anymore, like I mentioned earlier. But you're a revolutionary, you're an activist, you're a reformer, you're fighting for survival, you're fighting for their environmental cause, you're fighting for whatever it is. In this case, you're fighting for President Obama or for Mitt Romney. Whichever the case is, it's not important. You're fighting for that person. Now, you believe in it so much, and that's the reason obviously you're watching this video and why you came to my site. You believe in it so much that you hear about a rally that's taking place in your community. The president or Mitt Romney are going to be in your community, and you hear about it, whether it's through word of mouth, through the internet, Twitter, whatever the case is, you heard about it, and you want in on this. So what do? You, as a person who truly believes, say, I'm going to be there. And I mean, you believe in it so much that you even take a day off work or a day off school, whatever, and you get to this rally. Now, you go to this rally. On top of that, you have your wooden stick ready with a big picture of Obama or of Mitt Romney on it, with full of colors, and the thing, I mean, it's this big stick, it almost looks like a huge lollipop. And you're bringing it around with you, and you're walking around and you're seeing like-minded people, people who think like you, and you're having a blast. And let me tell you something, it is a blast, because I've been to protests, I've been to these things, and they're so much fun because you're with people that care as much as you do. So, and the result of actually being there, have a blast. All of a sudden, as you're walking and an hour is passing by, 2 hours are passing by, 3 hours passing by, firstly, you start to get hungry. This is the reality of it. You start to get hungry, you start to get thirsty, and while you're smelling those hot dogs that are on the side with mustard and relish and onions and ketchup and all that, you realize that as you look around and people are patting you on the back for being there, just like you're patting them on the back for being there, you're realizing, as you're eating your hot dog and it's tasting so good at this point because you were starving, remember, you realize that, wait a second, is the candidate, either Romney or Obama, actually going to answer any questions ad hoc? Is he going to address the issue that you care about? Because remember, you can't care about 50 issues, you can only care about your issue. Is he going to answer that? Then all of a sudden you look around, the day has passed, you haven't gone to work, and you realize all of a sudden that, wait a second, this whole day, apart from supporting this candidate, either Obama or Romney, nothing to do with your revolution, with your change, has actually been talked about or even pushed. So you look at it and you start saying, wait a second, I wasted a whole day and nothing that has any importance for me has been addressed. That's what I'm talking about, waste of time. These kind of things, as much as they're fun, and they're so much fun, they tend to be a waste of time for that reason. Because now, there is no way forward, you haven't asked any questions, you don't know what's coming up next, and you're sort of thinking to yourself that night when you're getting home that you missed a day of work, a day of school, a day of whatever, you suddenly realize that, wait, I haven't actually achieved anything now. And not only that, it's starting to sink in, you're starting to lose faith, you're starting to lose momentum, and you're thinking, you're saying, well, can I really make a change? Can revolution really happen? And that's where it gets ugly. And the reason I give this example, and this is the most important part, is because you have to realize that if you don't take control of the change you want to bring, what happens is that, again, your change, whatever it is that's important to you, in this case getting Roe versus Wade, protecting Roe versus Wade, or fighting against it, or fighting for offshore drilling, or fighting for environmental cause in your community, or fighting for a career change, whatever the case is, all of a sudden you realize that nothing happened and nothing will happen. And I guarantee you nothing will happen. The reason nothing will happen is because you do not have a process. You do not have a way to actually create change. You've just talked about change. You were there. You were there with the group. But when it came to actually asking a question, probably no one even asked the question you want information on, and your change will not be addressed. I guarantee it. The reason I say this is because you need to fight for what's important for you. And what the 10-step revolution does is it gives you the 10 steps on what to fight about. So basically what I'm going to do in my next video, in the last video, is I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to basically introduce the 5 benefits, what the 10-step revolution will do for you, and also I'll get into the actual outline of the steps of the 10-step revolution. So stay tuned for part 3, where I'll get into the benefits and the steps and a little about me. So hang on, because you are about to know and learn about the 10 steps that will change your life, the cheat sheet that will change your life. So stay tuned for part 3. Thanks.